Welcome to Mega Bloks Building Tutorials, and in this tutorial we're going to do something very special for Easter, an Easter egg. This is really a great tutorial for kids ages 4+ and adults. It's a ton of fun and it really lends to creativity in terms of all the different kinds of colors you can use to build your Easter egg, plus it's a really great learning example of basic building foundations, especially learning how to create these kinds of cool shapes, structure, stability, and things like spheres. And in the long run, this really comes in handy when doing other kinds of building. So let's take a look at how to build this Easter egg. What I have here is a deconstructed Easter egg to show you the basic steps involved in building it, from the base to the body and to the top. So it's really very cool, and we're going to actually build it in all of these different sections to show you how easy it really is to build this Easter egg. But before we do that, I'm going to walk you through all the pieces that we're going to need to create this Easter egg. We're going to need 18 of these 1x2 white plates. We're going to need 8 1x3 white plates. We're going to need 8 1x4 white plates. We're going to need 9 2x4 white plates. We're going to need 5 2x6 white plates. And now we'll move on to the blocks. In this Easter egg, we're doing pink, green, yellow, and white. So for the pink blocks, you're going to need 4 of these 2x4 pink blocks. Sorry, 5 of these 2x4 pink blocks and 4 of these 1x4 pink blocks. So 4 1x4s and 5 2x4s. And then for the green blocks, you're going to need 4 1x4 green blocks and 4 2x2 green blocks. And for yellow, you're going to need 4 1x4 yellow blocks and 4 2x2 yellow blocks. And you're going to need the same for white. You're going to need 4 of these 2x2 white blocks and then 4 of the 1x4 white blocks. Let me just show you one of these here, of these 1x4 white blocks. Here's a better example. Okay, so let's get building. So to build this egg, we're going to start from the base. So this is the base, and you can see it takes a lot of these little white plates to create the basic shape of this Easter egg, because we really want it to have the flow of an egg up. So this is a spherical shape, and what's really great about this build is that it teaches you some of these basic building concepts, so how to create this kind of a structure. So let's decompose this one more level down to really take a look at how this works. So this is really the base here, and I'm going to show you how to build this. So the best way to do this is to build it flat and upside down. So we're going to start with our 2x6 white plate, and we're going to lay that flat. So this is going to be the center of our base. Then we're going to take 2 2x4 white plates, and we're going to center them on here. So you want to snap them here so that they're centered. And by centered, what I mean is that we leave an equal overhang on each side. So that's what makes that centered on that 2x6 white plate. Then we're going to take these 1x2 white plates and stick them on the edges of those 2x4s, like so. So this is going to, 1, create some stability by tying all these plates together, and 2, it's going to help us create that depth so we have a real egg shape. And then we're going to grab another 2x4 white plate, and we're going to stick that in the center as well. So now that's really going to help create stability and also give us more depth. And we'll finish it off with these 2 1x2s. And we'll stick those in the center of that 2x4, like so. So you see what I've done here? It's in the center, and that's what gives us this depth as we go down layer by layer by layer, and it creates a lot of stability so that these pieces don't come apart. Now we're going to flip this over. We've got a bit of an overhang here on each side. It's not flush, and we're going to need to add our pink blocks to this. So we're going to grab 2 of these 1x4 plates, and we're going to add those to the edge so that we flush off the base of that egg. Very simple. So the next thing we want to do now is add our blocks all the way around. So we're going to be using our 1x4 pink blocks and our 2x4 pink blocks. Now I want to show you something here on this 2x4 pink block. We're going to take 2 of these, and on the bottom we're going to place a 1x2 plate on the center edge. Okay, and what that's going to do is we're going to snap these here on the sides. Okay, and you see it creates a bit of flushness here, and when I flip it, it adds that depth again. So it actually makes it equal itself out, so you get a nice Easter egg kind of shape. Then we're going to take our 1x4s and put those on the opposite edges. Okay, so now we have a really nice base. Okay, the next step here is to create the upper part of this body. So let's backtrack for a second and take a look at what the center of this body is supposed to look like. So this is what the center of this body is going to look like. Notice that it is hollow, which is pretty cool. Okay, now all these pieces come off the side like this. Okay, so I can show you, if I break it down one more level for you, you can see what it actually looks like. So deconstructing and constructing all at the same time. So now you get a much better feel for what this centerpiece is going to look like. So this is what we're going to build all the way around. In fact, I'll take off those. It should really look like this. Okay, so this is the structure that we are going to create. So let's start by building that white base that I just showed you. Get some of these pieces out of the way here. We'll move them to the side. Okay, and we'll start to build this structure. So to begin, we're going to need 3 of these 2x6s, and it's going to be the same basic premise where we're going to do this upside down. So we want to lie these side by side and upside down, because in order for us to add all these other pieces on the bottom, it's just going to make it a lot easier if it's upside down so that we can lay these pieces on. So the next 2 pieces we're going to need are 2 2x4 white plates like this. And these are going to tie in all 3. So you're going to stick them in the center of these 3 2x6s, and you're going to leave an overhang. So you see how there's an overhang, and it connects all those 2x6s together, just like in our demo here. Now to complete this, we're going to use a bunch of 1x2s and 1x3s. So let's start with our 1x3 plates, which we will stick in the center. So you see where I put that? Here's our center 2x6, and I'm sticking my 1x3s on there, and it's pointing outwards. Oh, that's a 1x4. Okay, so here is my 1x3s, and then we're going to fill in these areas here with 1x2s. And I'll do 1 to get it started to show you what it looks like. You see, I've put those 1x2s in there, and you want to do the same all the way around. So we'll take a look at that. So it's the same all the way around. So now we have that base structure. This is actually going to fit on top of the other piece that we've already built. So that was the piece we just built, and this is the next stage. So now what you want to do is go ahead and take this piece and snap it together, and make sure that it hangs all the way around. So when I put this together, you'll see that there's an overhang all the way around. Okay? Now, the next step is to create the walls and move our way up. So I'm going to show you how to make 1 of each of those pieces, and then you can do the rest yourself. So what we want to start by doing is creating the sides, which are essentially these 1x4s. So you're going to start by taking a flat 1x4 white, and you're going to put a 1x4 green on top, a 1x4 white in the center, and a 1x4 yellow on top. And you're going to want to create 4 of these, and you're going to stick them on those edges that point out. So see these edges that point out all the way around? You're going to take those and center it on those edges. And these are going to create the walls of our egg. Okay? So now we have the walls of our egg. The next part is creating the pillars that go in these corners to give it more of a 3D look and to build it up. You're going to want to create 4 of those as well. So to do that, you're going to start by using a 2x2 green, and then you're going to take a 2x2 white, snap that on top, a 2x2 yellow on top of that, and then finish it with 2 1x2s. Like this. Okay? And you're going to want to make 4 of these. And you're going to stick them in the corners, like so. So if we look at it this way, it goes right here in the corner, and then you snap it in. Okay, so you want to make 4 of those, and then snap 1 in each corner. Okay? So you can see it's very simple, and if you're noticing as we continue and move forward, there's a lot to learn here in terms of building a structure, in terms of creating stability, in terms of creating these kinds of shapes, and the illusion, right? The illusion of 3D all the way around. By using these various different pieces, we get these very cool effects. We get this really nice spherical effect, and it's totally hollow, which is really an awesome touch, I think, to this egg, because you could always add hinges and other things and make it open, and you could do a lot of really cool stuff. So let's move on to the final 2 parts, which is the top of our egg. So there's actually 2 components to this. There's this component here, and then there's this component that actually fits right on top to finish it off, to make it look like a nice egg pointy at the top. So let's start by building this piece here, okay? So for that, again, we're going to lay a bunch of blocks upside down. We're going to use our 2x4 pink blocks, and we're going to need 3 of these. And we're going to lay them down like so. 2 and 1. Okay, so I'm laying them down like this. 2 and 1. And then what we're going to do is start tying these together with our 2x4 white plates. So we're going to use 1, and we're going to center them like this. So actually, if you want to look at it like this, you center it like that. And then we use a second one that's going to overhang this, so it's actually centered on that, and then we snap it in here. So you see what that's done? Those 2x4s have allowed us to tie all 3 of those pieces together, all 3 of those blocks together. Now we're going to grab some 1x3s. So we need 4 of these 1x3 flats. Okay? These here. And we're going to center them off. So make sure that they are in the center of this structure. Okay. So just to show you what I've done, they are in the center of that structure there. And those are going to hold our 1x4s, which we can now turn this back up the right way and snap those 1x4s in on the side. So you see what I did? I snapped those 1x4s in here. So now I've got a perfectly even piece all the way around. I have 2 prongs hanging off the edge all the way around, and I still have that nice 3D shape. So it gives me exactly what I'm looking for. And to finish it off, we're going to take 2 of these 1x2 plates, and we're going to stick it on those 2x4s in the center. So we center it in that 2x4. See the 2x4, 2x4, and we center that 1x2, and we do the same up here. This is going to leave us space so that later on when we come in here and add that top piece, it's all nice and flush. So now you want to go ahead, okay, and take this piece and put it to the side. We're not going to snap it on the body yet because we still want to make this top piece. So let's take a look at how this top piece is made. Okay, so for the final part, we're going to do the peak of the egg. And for the peak of the egg, it's very simple. We're going to take our 2x6 plate and lay that flat. Then we're going to grab 2 2x4 plates, and we're going to center it on top of this one. Okay, so you put them both on top here so that you get this, you get a bit of an overhang here. Then you're going to take one more 2x4 plate, and you're going to center that now in the middle of the 2 that you just put on. So you see what I did? I stuck it right down here in the center. And then we're going to take 2 1x2 white plates and stick it in the center of that. So what this is doing is we're essentially downsizing each time so that we get depth. So you see how I've created depth here? I have this peak. It moves itself up. It's a really cool technique. So now we're going to take this piece and we're going to lay it on top of what we've already built. And make sure that you lay it the right way so that these are on the edge as so. And I actually forgot to add 2 pieces. My apologies. We want to take these 1x4s here and just flush that out on the bottom. So just make sure you do that before you snap it into place. Otherwise, it's going to be a little more difficult. So we add those 1x4s there. Now it's flush. And then we snap this on top so that the edges, so you see, we already have those 1x2s we put there so that we get that overhang. So we're going to stick this on top. And that's going to create this nice peak of our egg. Now we can take this final piece and add it to our body. Be careful when you do this last step, because it is hollow. If you squeeze the wrong way, it can fall apart. One recommendation I have for beginners is use any color block you want and put them inside here in the center. Just build it inside so that it adds a little more stability so that if you squeeze it won't fall apart. But once you get used to building structures like this, a hollow structure is not difficult to work with. You just need to be careful. So since it's even all the way around, it doesn't really matter how we do it. We just make sure that the edges stick out. And this is where you need to be careful, where you gently squeeze it into place. Make sure all the blocks line up properly, and you push it lightly. See what I'm doing? I'm moving all the way around, very lightly, pushing in piece by piece by piece. Okay? It's an art form. And there we go. Now I've got it, and all the pieces are in, and we have this beautiful Easter egg in 4 different colors: pink, white, yellow, and green. Really a great little build, teaches a lot of awesome techniques. And if you've already done our Easter Bunny build, then you've got a nice little diorama for Easter. It's really a ton of fun.